welcome to another Vinyasa Yoga. My name is Christy, and thank you for joining me virtually again this week. So this week we're going to have a lot of sun salutation A's thrown in there and some sun salutation B's. If you're not used to yoga, don't worry, I break everything down so even a beginner can do this Vinyasa practice. We will have some arm balances just to throw some things different in there so you can play around with your yoga flow today. You will always have an option to not do the stands if you don't want to. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to go in a child's pose position. So make the knees wide here on the mat. Let's go ahead and sink that. Very nice. And I want you just to focus on the breath here. Really just relax. So relax your hips down. Forehead rests on the mat. Your elbows can gently rest on the mat as well for the warm-up as we begin. Maybe just feel that spine start to release any tension that you could have been holding on to. Feeling it just relax and the tailbone soften and sink down to the earth. So maybe as we come into this child's pose, let's focus on a little bit of an ujjayi breath here, which just helps relax and calm that central nervous system. So inhale through your nose and maybe through the exhale, constricting the throat just slightly so that you hear a hushing sound or an ocean, as they like to say. So you can say an ocean breath as you exhale. So you're going to inhale deeply and exhale through the nose. We're just going to do 3 more rounds of this breath here. Very nice. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and come up into an all-fours position here. So let's go ahead and align it to where your shoulders are over the wrists, your knees are over the hips. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes in. We're going to inhale, dropping the belly, the gaze looks up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, tuck that chin and release the toes. Very nice. Inhale, gaze looks up. Exhale, release. It doesn't have to be big movements here with this arch of the spine. Just warming up that vertebrae here before we go into a little bit more twist in it. And we'll have some more lengthening poses as well. Let's go ahead and inhale back into a neutral spine. And this time, I want you to go ahead and take your fingertips here. We're going to warm up the wrist. So we're going to point the fingertips towards us. And I want you to slightly shift back on the hips until you feel that stretch down your forearm. Very nice. Taking a breath, just inhaling and exhaling. Again, maybe coming back to that ujjayi breath here. Let's go ahead and flip to the tops of the hands. Just a gentle stretch. Again, this time pressing forward slightly. You don't have to put all your weight on the wrist here. We don't want to hurt the wrist joints. Very nice. Let's go ahead and point the fingertips now in towards us. I just want you to rock side to side gently. Again, just warming up the joint and the movement here. If you're going to be doing those arm balances with me later on in the practice, this is a nice good warm up for the wrist so we don't have any injuries later or any stiffness. Let's go ahead and flip to the tops of the palms here. And I want you just to clench them into a fist, slightly bend at the elbows, and then spread the fingers and lift. Very nice. Clench into a fist, and then spread and open. Very nice. And let's do 2 more. Exhale and inhale up. And inhale. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take the palms back up under the shoulders. Let's tuck the toes here. Engage that core. Tilt the pelvis slightly under. And then lift. So you have that little interior tilt in the pelvis. Modified plank. Hold it here. Engaging the abdominals here. That Uddiyana Bandha in yoga. And we're going to shift back, deep bend, shifting into that first down dog. Very nice. So the deep bend in the knees. I want you to feel the weight pressing through the palms of the hands here. Very nice. Shoulders relax away from the ears, tailbone up towards the sky. Really feel that spine here lengthening. Again, come back to your breath. Maybe you start to walk that dog by bending the knees in and out. Very nice. Drawing those heels closer to the earth. Beautiful job. And then on your next exhale, I just want you to walk your hands, or walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. And then let's go ahead, grabbing the elbows here, the opposite elbows. We're just going to let the head hang heavy. So if you'd like to, if it feels good on the spine, you can rock side to side here. Or maybe in that cervical spine, nodding the head yes and no, releasing the neck. I'm kind of just letting gravity here, taking you a little deeper in this forward fold. So again, you're feeling the lengthening. We're focusing on lengthening this month here. So elongating that spine. We're also focusing on rooting down that first chakra here. So that Muladhara, or that root chakra, if you're familiar with the chakra system. So we're releasing and we're letting go and we're rooting down. So this is good to here envision the heels. You're heavier on the heels here. You're rooting into your mat. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take your hands to your hips. On that inhale, stand it up. Exhale and release. Inhale, draw those hands up. Exhale together at heart center. Go ahead and just bow that chin slightly in. Maybe feeling the back of the neck release here. I know I've had some tension in the neck here recently, so let's go ahead and take that ear to shoulder. Switching sides. Now again, I want you to pull back on the shoulders, bringing them down and back. Release, coming back to the other side. And release it again. Tuck the chin in. Bring it on up slightly, feeling that throat space open up. Exhale, drawing that chin back in. Inhale. This is a good one here to feel that Ujjayi breath. And then exhale, because it constricts your throat naturally as you draw that chin in. Inhale, back up to neutral, coming into your sun salutation A. Inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. I want you to go ahead and step this first one back. Very nice, into a plank. Shift those shoulders over the wrist. Chaturanga down. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra as we're warming up that spine. Come on through, rolling through to the down dog. Very nice. Take a breath. We're going to keep that moving, keep that heat coming on that exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up and overhead. Exhale, back at heart center. Take a breath. Exhale, release, maybe sigh it out. Releasing tension. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, step or hop. Very nice. Coming into that chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Very nice. Take a breath. On your next exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up and overhead. Back together at heart center. Feeling that body hopefully heat up. Awaken yourself here. Inhale, lifting those arms. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, step or hop. Very nice. Come into that chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Very nice. Take a moment. Take a breath. And then inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, draw that knee into the chest. Plant the foot between the hands. You're in an extended side angle here. So I want that chest lifted. I want you light on the fingertips here. If you have blocks and you'd like to use them to give you that lift so you feel that elongating through the spine here. Very nice. Inhaling and exhaling. Go ahead, release that back leg. We're going to come into a low crescent. So untuck that back toe. You can have your hands here on your thigh or inhale all the way up. Very nice. Coming into that lengthening, we're going to grab a hold of that left wrist and reach it all over to that right side. So you're feeling that left side really elongating here. Very nice. Breathing. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, releasing those hands at your sides. And then shift it back into a half split here. Very nice. Keep that right hip lifted. Chest is lifted. And then again, elongate through that spine if you'd like to forward fold. Coming in, maybe you grab the ankle, maybe you grab around the foot. Very nice. Inhale. Let's go ahead and shift that right knee forward. Coming back on up. Tuck the back toe. I want you to find your balance here because what we're going to do is we're going to lift up into a high crescent. Very good. Very nice. Again, from this high crescent, we're going to elongate. I want you to open up towards the right side. Very nice. Breathing through. Feeling that little twist in the spine, but feeling the chest open. We're twisting in one side, opening in the other. Very, very nice. Inhale back on up to high crescent. Release those hands back down on the floor, framing the foot. Step back into a plank. You can shift to a down dog or come into that vinyasa. Very nice. So if at any point you need to come into that child's pose, or you need to skip the vinyasa and come into a down dog, please feel free to do so. And again, get a drink whenever you need to throughout this practice. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and lift that left leg up. Exhale, draw that knee into the chest. Plant the foot between the hands here. We're coming into that that lovely little runner's lunge. So again, make sure that knee doesn't shift too far forward. You want to have it over the ankle here. Light on the fingertips. So you got a strong front thigh here working. You're pressing through the back of the ball and heel. Breathe through. Coming back into that calming breath here. Exhale, release that back leg. Untuck the toes. Coming up, nice and tall through the spine, hands to the thighs. Or draw them up, relax the shoulders down. Coming into your breath. So keeping that body moving and flowing smoothly throughout this practice here. You're keeping that body heated, keeping it loosened. Go ahead and grab a hold of that right wrist. We're going to stretch it on over to the left side. So you will feel that right hip shift out slightly. That's all right. That is okay. You might try to shift it maybe a little bit forward and the left hip slightly back. So feel that stretch a little bit more down that right hip flexor. Very nice. Inhale, coming back on up. Exhale, draw those hands out of your side here. We're going to shift back into the half split now onto the left side. Keep that left hip lifted. Again, nice and tall from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And then I want you to go ahead and melt it forward if you want. Now, it might be enough for you to stay up, and that's all right. Give yourself grace from where you're at on your mat today. Yoga is not about being flexible. It's about meeting yourself where you are. And it's more about that spiritual journey within than the outer appearance of yoga. So that's just all the bonus. When we gain that flexibility, we start seeing the strength being gained as well. That's just bonus. More of it's that work being done inside. Very nice. On your next exhale, I want you to shift that left knee forward again. Tuck the back toes under. Find that balance, and we're going to lift up into that high crescent. Very nice. Inhale, and on the exhale, twist over to the left side. So you want to open up through that chest, and you want those arms to try to be like a T here. Very nice. I want you to shift that right hip forward, left hip slightly back. Very nice. Inhale, coming back with those hands up. Shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, draw those hands back down to frame the foot. Step back into that plank. Your vinyasa, so chaturanga down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Very nice. If you feel like it here, you can walk that dog out again. Very nice. I want you to go ahead and on that exhale, I want you to walk your hands back to the mat here to meet the feet at the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. And I want you to go ahead, if you're comfortable, we're going to do gorilla pose. So we're going to take the tops of the hands and place them under our feet so that the palms of our hands and the soles of our feet are connected here. Slight bend in those knees, letting the head hang heavy. Maybe you feel a lovely little sway if you'd like. Drawing that in, maybe the neck here loosens up again, rocking gently side to side. Whatever you feel that your body needs in this position. Maybe it's the stillness in the breath. Maybe it's that slow movement, that slow rocking. On that next exhale, let's go ahead, take your hands back to your hips. On your next exhale, let's draw it up to a standing position. Inhale those hands up. Exhale, draw them to heart center. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take a breath. Inhale. And exhale, release or side out. We're going to come into a balancing pose here. So we're going to go ahead and shift our weight into that left hip. We're going to kick stand up, drawing that right knee out to the side, coming into a tree pose. So your foot here, you have several options. It can stay into that kickstand. It can come to the side of the calf, come up to the side of the thigh here. Or if you'd like another option, you can come into a lotus, half lotus. Very nice. Find your drishti, which is that focus point here, third eye center. Focusing on a spot here that doesn't move. Try not to lock out that standing leg here. That you got that little stationary leg for balance. You want a slight little bend. Don't lock the joint out. Very nice. Find that stillness. Inhale, drawing those hands back to heart center. Drawing that knee forward. Keep it lifted. Flex through the foot. Draw the knee up. We're going to go ahead, hug it in. And we're going to go into a big toe stand here. So your pointer and middle finger can wrap around the big toe, or if you have yogi socks on like me, you can come to the outside. Very nice. And we're just going to open up to the right. Hand can be on the hip here, or it can come out. Find your stillness and find that breath. Very nice. Coming back on your exhale, drawing that foot forward. Go ahead, I want you to hug that knee in again. If you can, squeeze it in, and then plant it down. Go ahead, and let's pedal out the feet. And we're just going to go right on over to the other side. So coming into that balancing pose, shifting your weight into that right hip. That left hand or that left foot kickstands out. Draw the knee to the side. You can come into the side of the calf here, side of the thigh, or come into lotus. Very nice. Hands here at heart center. And when you find that drishti, you can go ahead and inhale, rise with those hands, and exhale, grow your branches. And again, we're all about rooting down here. So maybe you do imagine and have that visual that you're a tree. You're growing roots out of your foot here. You're rooting down into your mat. You're becoming unbreakable and unbendable here. Let's go ahead. When you're ready, inhale and exhale. Draw those hands back to heart center. Draw that knee forward. Try to keep it lifted. Let's go ahead. Flex the foot. Hug that knee in. Again, pointer and middle finger can grab a hold of that big toe for that big toe stand or to the outside. hands can be on the hips, or you can grow those branches up again. Very nice. When you're ready, draw it back to center. Hug that knee in if you can. Exhale, release it down. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Let's go ahead and walk those hands out again. We're going to shift forward. And this time I just want you to come over to a right side plank. So draw that left hand up. Very nice. Now if you need to modify, you can draw that bottom leg down to the mat. You can reach that top arm up and over the ear here, really, again, lengthening. Name of the game here for this week. You can even lift that top foot if you'd like to. When you're ready, exhale. Come back into that plank position. I want you to exhale, lower all the way down. Very nice. Draw those hands out. Very nice. And I want it to be kind of really lengthening here, just a little bend. Lift it up, drop that right shoulder, look over that left shoulder. I want the tops of the feet here pressed into the mat. Very nice. So you're feeling the strengthening through that back body as you're stretching the chest and the shoulders. Inhale, look up. Exhale, go ahead and drop that left shoulder, gaze looks over the right. Inhale, rise with the chest. Exhale, release it down. And this time I want you to go ahead and interlace the hands back behind you. Very nice. And then lift both the legs if you can and the chest. Like you're trying to draw the hands here to your heels. Let's go ahead and release that down. Take a moment, shift back into child's pose here. Drawing that forehead to the thigh or to the mat here. This time I want you to walk your hands out long. Really feel the spread of your fingertips. Elbows are lifted up off the earth if they weren't before for that first one. Very nice. Push those shoulder blades back and away from the ears. And then I want you to go ahead, you can lift that head up. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, thread it through and under that chest. So you're like a little pretzel here. Walk that left hand maybe a little bit more forward. Maybe walk it to the side if you'd like to, over toward that right side so that you're feeling the lengthening down the left. Very nice. Let's go ahead, walk that left hand back to center. Inhale that right arm back on up. Exhale, drawing it back to the mat here. And inhale, left arm reaches. And then exhale, thread it under the chest. Very nice. Again, walk that right hand slightly forward, or you can walk it over to that left corner, feeling that stretch and lengthening down the obliques here through that right hip. And go ahead and inhale that right hand back to center, lifting that left arm up, and then coming back. And I want you to come into all fours. Very nice. Go ahead, tuck the toes here. We're going to go ahead, shift into a down dog. And this time you're a little bit more warmed up here. So go ahead, try to draw the heels a little bit closer to the earth. Lifting that tailbone up towards the sky. And I want that third eye center here, that space between the eyebrows, to be up towards your thumb. So I don't want you looking back at your feet. That's a no-no here. We want that spine in a nice neutral alignment. On your next exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms up and overhead. Exhale, back down to heart center. So we're going to come into a sun salutation V here. We're going to move a little bit quick, and I will have step by step. So go ahead, inhale, scoop the earth. Exhale, sink it into a chair pose. And then exhale, release it down to the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Step or hop. Go ahead, chaturanga down. We'll all meet in a down dog. Very nice. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, draw that knee through to front. Plant the foot. Drop that back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, release. Step it back into plank. Your vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, drawing it through. Planting the foot between the hands. Dropping that back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, release. Step it back into plank. Your vinyasa. Very nice. Inhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms together at heart center. Very nice. This time, inhale, scoop, and we're going to stay in that chair pose. So we're going to be coming into that first balancing act here. Whew, I can feel myself heated. I hope you do too at home. Now we're going to come into a little twist first. So draw those hands to heart center. Exhale, coming over to the side. So coming over to that right side. Press through that top palm here. Very nice. Because we want to open up through the chest. We don't want to close the chest. We want to be like this. We want to try to open. Draw that right shoulder back. Press through with that right palm. Very nice. Now if you'd like to go a little bit harder, what I want you to do is draw that right hand back behind you. Fingertips point towards the right long edge of the mat, okay? So one hand back behind, the other one next to you. Now you will move your feet a little bit. You're going to tiptoe because we're going to do a side crow if you're wondering what I'm doing. So you can stay in that twist or you can try that side crow. So you're going to have the chaturanga arms. You're going to start to bend like in chaturanga and you're going to lift. Now one side is a little worse for me than the other and you might notice that as well. Very nice. Now, I'd like you to come back into that twist. Wherever you were at, we're going to come back to center. Inhale, rise. Go ahead, grab a hold of that left wrist, reach it on over towards that right side. Very nice. Inhale, back to center. Switching your grip. Exhale, release. Inhale, back up. Exhale to heart center. Take a breath, and we're going to scoop again. So inhale, exhale, scoop. Draw those hands to heart center. We're going to twist it over to that right side, or that left side, excuse me. I want you to, again, open up with that chest. So press through with that top palm. And this is an option. You can open up, or you can come in for that bind. Or, if you'd like to come into that side crow, let's start to squat here. Draw that left hand back behind you. I'm going to position my feet. You'll have to walk your toes a little bit. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a little shelf here with our tricep for our thighs to be able to hold on to. Again, we've got that chaturanga arms. So you're going to have those shoulders over those wrists again as we start to side crow. Now if you'd like to try it again, you can, or you can stay into that twist. nice whether you twisted or you stayed or you tried. Yoga is all about having fun too. Being able to play. Let's come back. Come back on up. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, stepping or hop to the back of the mat here. Shifting, coming into your chaturanga. Exhale, release it back into down dog. Take a breath and take a moment here. I want you to inhale, shifting into a plank position here. Go ahead and hold it. And then I want you to come on over to that side plank here on the left side so that right arm goes up. So I did not forget. I gotta even it out here. Modify if you need to, and you can draw that left leg down. And play with this pose here. Draw that right arm over the ear here. You can lift that top leg. You can even come in for a bind here if you'd like. So you just pick what your body needs today. So many options in yoga. When you're ready, wherever you are, let's go ahead and release it back down. Coming back into that plank position. And then shift it into a down dog. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Let's go ahead and bend through that right knee. Looking under that right arm. And we can either circle out the ankle here. You can do some hip circles if that's comfortable to you. Or you can just stay having that hip opener. When you're ready, go ahead and then come back, squaring the hips to the earth. Very nice. Release that down. Inhale, drawing that left leg up, bending through the knee, stacking the hips. Gaze looks up under that left armpit. Then you can roll out the ankle here, roll out the knees if you need to. When you're ready, go ahead and square the hips back up. Release that foot down to the earth. Really sink it back into that down dog. Coming into your breath here, coming into that breath work. Don't forget about the deep inhales and exhales we had. Calming the nervous system here. Calming your mind. Breathing through. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Very nice. Then I want you to go ahead and I want you to either step or hop through to a seated position. Very nice. Roll those feet out in front of you here. We're going to go ahead and flex the toes towards us. Hands are at our sides. Let's go ahead and press through the palms here. Nice and strong, 90 degrees with the body. Crown of the head is over that tailbone. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Now this time I want you to go ahead, point the toes. Inhale those hands up. Exhale, folding at the hips here, melting that heart forward. And if you'd like to, you can reach back with that left arm, opening up. You can bring those hands back behind the back, open that shoulder. On your next exhale, let's go ahead and extend that left hand back if you had it reached behind. And then we're going to switch, drawing that right hand back behind. Very nice. Calming the body back down. We heated it up. Got it all good and warm. Go ahead and draw that back. Coming back on up. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to stack the shins here. So we're going to take the right foot on top And if it's too much here for you to stack the shins, if that's just not going to happen for you today, it's okay to just cross the legs. I just like the hip flexor stretch you get with that. Let's go ahead and inhale those hands up. Exhale, let's twist over to the right side. Nice and tall again through the crown of the head. Feel the tailbone rooting down. So when we have this chakra out of balance here and we're trying to align it back, sometimes it can be seen with some of our actions of if we hold on to material things too much, if we care too much about money or stuff. You know, and we're coming in, you know, spring cleaning, that's always a good thing, or we get rid of things. Go ahead, inhale those hands back on up, coming to center. Exhale, release it. I want you to go ahead and I want you to forward fold. So rock those hands out, press through the palms, shift those hips back. So sometimes spring cleaning can be a very good thing because it helps release things that we're holding on to. Sometimes the clutter, it might look cluttered on the outside, but it's also cluttering up your mind and your body as well. Another thing, and maybe we worry too much about money or not having enough. So, you know, it's sometimes really good to have that release, trying to get that root chakra aligned here. Go ahead and draw those feet out. And we're just going to take them out long. Let's go ahead and just windshield wiper the toes, right to left. And then I want you to go ahead and we're going to stack the shins again, or cross, but instead of the right foot being on top, it's going to be the left or that left shin. So what I want though is the shins parallel to that front of the mat here. Very nice. Inhale, arms are up. Exhale, over. So yeah, that root chakra, sometimes we need that stability or something to help stabilize us in life, but other times it can also show up as, like I said, greed or material things or worrying about not having enough, which I'm sure all of us can relate to at one time or another. Let's just have this flow here to release, hopefully that in our minds. Or maybe after this flow, you'll want to gather up some things to get rid of. Who knows? Declutter your mind, body, and your house. Go ahead and inhale back on up. We're going to draw our hands forward, shift those hips back. Go ahead and walk our hands back up. I want you to go ahead and come into a Baddha Konasana here, which is our butterfly pose. Lovely hip flexor stretch as well. Draw those shoulders back. Now, if your butterfly pose does not look like my butterfly pose and your legs are up a little bit, that is okay. If you have blocks, you can place them under your thighs. Or you can take the elbows here and press down on that thigh to help come into that stretch a little bit more. So chest is lifted, and if you'd like to come deeper into the stretch, which you don't have to, but if you'd like to get something else out of it, you can walk those hands forward. And go ahead and draw those hands back on up, drawing the knees together here. We're going to keep our feet rooted to the earth. And we're going to go ahead with a nice tall spine. I want you to come back. Very nice. And then I want you to exhale, lift. Awesome. Inhale. Exhale, lowering as far as you can go here, keeping that tall spine. Exhale, coming on up. Take a breath. And exhale, drawing it down. Very nice. Inhale up. This time I want you to exhale, open those arms up. feeling that core work. Exhale, come in. It's like you're offering, you're opening, and you're drawing it in. On this last one here, I want you to grab back behind the thighs. I want you to slowly draw yourself back. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. I had a little natural adjustment in my hip there. That felt pretty good. Let's go ahead, hug those knees in. Rock side to side on that spine here if that's comfortable for you. I want you to go ahead and come into a reclined pigeon pose. So I'm actually going to come to the side of my mat here so you can see it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to draw that right ankle and cross it over that left knee. And we're going to go ahead and draw the hands around that left thigh to hug that leg in. Now, if you'd like to open up your hip a little bit more, you can take that right foot, draw it to your bicep here on that left hand, and then take the inner elbow of that right hand and wrap it around that right knee, and then you can try to interlace the hands. So actually, this is going to help us in another arm balancing pose that I would like to do in a future video. So it'll be another goal that we work towards. And I like to rock side to side because I just feel it in my hips a little bit more, and it helps relax that lumbar spine, which I know is where I hold tension right there in that lower back and in the hips. All right, let's go ahead, exhale, releasing both heels to the earth. Let's go ahead and just roll our hands out to a T, press the palms down, so we're pressing the shoulder blades back, hopefully to feel the chest, and we're windshield wipering the knees, right to left. Very nice. When you're ready, let's go ahead and cross that left ankle over that right knee. Draw the right knee in towards your chest. And again, you can take those hands back behind that right thigh. Or if you'd like to have this stretch a little bit different here, also kind of stretching the arms because you have to try to reach those fingers together. So we're going to take that left foot, we're going to take it right there to the bicep of that right, or that left foot into the bicep of the right arm. And then we're going to take that left knee to the inside of that left elbow, and then we're going to interlace the hands around the right knee. And I like to rock side to side. And so again, the goal here with your shin, if you have them hooked around the inner elbows, is you want it to be parallel. So you don't want to have like the knee crossed. Here we're not crossing today, and you don't want to have it down. So you want it nice and parallel if you can get it there. Very nice. Let's go ahead, release that back down. Go ahead, take those palms again out to a T, palms are down, press the shoulders into the earth. Very nice, feeling yourself rooting and grounding down. Hopefully you have a nice sense of calm here through the mind. So when you're ready, we're just going to hug the knees in. One more time. I'm going to give you an option here for your last pose. You can either come up and do a little wall stand here by just placing the heels up to a little wall sit, and then just feeling that inversion, feeling the blood flow coming down and up the legs. Or if you'd like to have another hip opener, you can draw the hands to the outsides, and you can come into a happy baby. So the hands come to the outside of the feet, coming into a happy baby, dropping those knees open. And of course, you can always rock side to side to open up the hips a little bit more. Or you can just feel gravity here, just opening up the hips. you're in the shoulder stand, you can take those palms together and then draw the fingertips up towards the toes, feeling a little lift here in that upper back and in the shoulder blades. Sometimes I like to point and flex my toes as well in that shoulder stand. When you're ready, let's go ahead and hug the knees in one last time. And then we're going to go ahead on that exhale, releasing into that Shavasana, drawing the feet out to the bottom of your mat, letting the feet flop out to the side here. Hands come out to the side, palms are up. Letting yourself, maybe your eyes start to close here, just letting yourself relax and let go in this final resting pose. Let your jaw soften here. Feel your eyes start to relax. Your cheeks soften. Your shoulders melt down. The backs of your arms connect deeper into the earth. As you feel your hips release. The backs of the knees soften here. If your mind starts to wander, acknowledge that thought and then release it and let it go out. When you're ready to come out and to come back into your body here, let's just go ahead and start to bring some movement by wiggling the fingers and toes. You can still keep the eyes closed or softened here. And roll over to the right side by drawing your knees in and cradling your head here in your hand or in your arm. Take a breath or two before coming up into a seated position. When you're ready, and if you're back up into a seated position here, meeting me on your mat, let's go ahead and draw your hands to heart center. The light in me honors and respects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. May you have peace in your week, and I'll see you next time.